Coming up, the Happily Ever After Nighttime Spectacular has premiered, Star-Lord and Groot are meeting guests in Hollywood studios, could we be getting a Star Wars-themed resort, and answer your listener questions. All that and more on the way. This is the Magic Weekly episode 100 for the week of May 12th, 2017. And welcome to the Magic Weekly, a weekly Disney news show covering all things Walt Disney World and beyond. You can find us right on YouTube every Friday. Find the latest going on in the Disney universe. I'm your host, Brayden, creator of Mickey Views, coming from the Mickey Views Magic Studio. Without further ado, let's jump right in.
All who come to this happy place, welcome.
Now I'm the king of the swingers.
Our largest expansion ever. We're not just building one of these, we're building two.
Well, everyone, not only is this episode 100, it's also a triple episode, as we've been lagging behind recently in the news, and to make up for that, this week, we are covering 3 weeks of news in one news segment, this current week's news, as well as those big stories we've yet to cover in the gap between now and number 99. So buckle in, because this is going to be one amazing episode. Starting off over in Hollywood Studios, as has long been suspected, it could be that Hollywood Studios is getting more than just 2 new lands. What wasn't expected is exactly what the next phase of this expansion project could entail, because word is we could be getting a Star Wars themed resort. This isn't a rumor, all this info is actually straight from Disney, as they've been surveying guests on this concept. Now, before we get into all the details, it should be noted this wouldn't be your usual hotel you book a stay at for a certain number of nights that you determine. This would be more of a special experience. You only get a predetermined amount of time to enjoy, and according to Disney, that amount of time would be 2 nights. And what Disney is calling an all-inclusive 2-night immersive resort experience at Walt Disney World, you'd be surrounded in a continuous story-driven entertainment experience that unfolds over the course of a 2-night stay. You would have personal interactions with Star Wars characters and live performers throughout the starship, impact and experience the story or simply observe the action according to personal preference, engage in the story with programs such as flight training, ship exploration, lightsaber training, and personalized secret missions, both on the starship and throughout the Star Wars-themed planet. Whoa! So as you probably noticed, this wouldn't be anything like your usual resort hotel. This would be literally like living in a Star Wars movie, a Star Wars film for 2 days, which sounds like what Hollywood Studios is all about now, stepping into these films. If this sounds like something interesting to you, Disney has noted the pricing for this potential new resort at $900 to $1,000 per person, with the all-inclusive element covering breakfast, lunch, table service dinner, live entertainment, and access to Star Wars Land and Hollywood Studios whenever you feel like it over the course of that 2-night experience. I don't know about you guys, but this is just about the coolest thing I've ever heard that Disney's ever actually pitched to guests in his survey. It's just absolutely incredible. My biggest worry with the Star Wars themed resort idea, ever since the idea started floating around, pretty much since Disney bought Lucasfilm, was that they built some sort of Star Wars resort hotel near other resorts that would sort of hurt the overall theming of those surrounding resorts and the resorts in general, which, unless they're value resorts, are based around geographical places and culture with specific architecture and landscaping to match that. I felt like a Star Wars themed hotel would be a bit of a departure from that, but when this resort is in a park, when the resort is less of a hotel and more of an immersive theme park-like experience that just so happens to have beds, not mention access to the immersive land itself. Wow. Since the 70s, having a hotel in a Walt Disney World theme park has been a dream of the Imagineers, and if this actually came to fruition, it definitely feel like a new layer of magic and immersive theming would have finally made it into the parks, and it'd be just about the most innovative thing that Disney's done in, I don't know, the last 10, 20, 30 years. It'd be absolutely crazy. Let me know what you guys think. Awesome. Remember how last week we were taking a look at some viewer newer photos where I marveled at the fact that part of the New York streets in the streets of America was still up. Turns out that may have been no coincidence. This week, some mysterious crossbeams were extended between the end of the facade and the former Writer's Stop building, lending credence to the new theory that part of the New York street will be staying and become part of the transition from the Hollywood Golden Age architecture and Star Wars land in Hollywood studios. What they could be doing here is trying to make these buildings, which are supposed to look like obvious set pieces with the exposed beams inside, into actual buildings, sort of trying to make them look like actual buildings, taking away that behind the scenes element and somehow incorporating a more real to life New York street into the Hollywood studios land expansions. If you notice, there's a lot of facade work already going on, which definitely increases the likelihood of that piece of speculation. The biggest question up in the air right now is, how does New York street help blend Star Wars land and the rest of the park together? That's a big question up in the air right now. Not to mention, there are a bunch of people that say that are thinking that Disney's trying to make this into a real building, like a new space for a Club 33 or maybe just a new Writer's Stop. But structurally, the way the building was put together, it was never intended to be a habitable building, so I'm not sure that's even possible. Let me know what you guys think. Wow. Also over in Hollywood Studios, a couple weeks ago it was announced that the new Star Tours destination for Episode 8 was Crait. We first saw this mineral planet in the first Last Jedi trailer, where you can actually see the speeder's stabilizers kicking up the red mineral surface of the planet, which is covered in a thin layer of salt, giving the far-out planet the white appearance. This week we got a bit more news on this story, as it has been confirmed Anthony Daniels will reprise his role as C-3PO for the new scene, and production on this new destination is supposed to begin basically right now. Let me know what you guys think about this news. Given the production's already underway, the Episode 7 Jakku scene, if I'm remembering correctly, it didn't really take that long to make, so let me know when you guys think that we could actually see this come to fruition. We can actually see it come to Star Tours. Could we see this destination added by August, September, earlier than that, later than that? I'm gonna guess September, knowing Disney. I feel like that's like a happy medium, but it could be August, so it could also be October as well. Oh my goodness, we'll let you know as soon as Disney announces the Star Tours refurb. It usually takes them like a day or two to switch this out. It's not a big deal or anything like that. They can switch it out pretty fast because they have not announced a refurb as of yet. Let me know what you guys think. Sweet. Before we talk Guardians of the Galaxy, it should also be noted that there are two new Magic Band colors. Black and teal Magic Bands have been spotted, as Disney has begun using them for new themed bands. Always good to see new colors. Remember we got purple? That was a big deal. Everyone was super excited about that stuff. Very interesting stuff. Also this week in Hollywood Studios, a new meet and greet premiered in the park, and it's one that we've been speculating about for weeks, Lord and Groot. This is probably the most bittersweet meet and greet we've ever discussed here on the show, because on the one hand, look at this meet and greet. You've got Star-Lord in Walt Disney World. It's so rare we get to see Marvel characters in the parks because of the Universal Marvel contract, and then one mention of Guardians in that contract, and this could not have happened. And then you've got Groot also, which is just crazy. We guessed that he would be a puppeteering department creation, and he certainly is, being able to move around himself with what I think is remote control, but I'm not sure about that. Let me know what you guys think. And then on top of all of that, not only was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 awesome, it was absolutely incredible, by the way. I personally thought it was better than the first one, but you've also got the fact that this meet and greet could be sticking around through the duration of 2017. That's the current assumption, at least. That's what we've been hearing. That would just be amazing. But then on the other hand, you have all this awesomeness. Where did Disney decide to put it? Of course, the who cares capital of Hollywood Studios, one man's dream. Who cares about Walter's legacy? Get rid of the Walt film, then get rid of like a third of the exhibit, take out all the Legacy Continues exhibits, all the Imagineering models, so you can drop in a few more props from upcoming movies and Broadway shows, and now throw a meet and greet in there too. It just feels like ever since we've started the Magic Weekly, we've been slowly covering the destruction of the attraction in Walt Disney World that pays tribute to the man himself, one man's dream, almost to the point where I'm just sort of having to accept that one man's dream isn't sticking around forever, maybe not long at all. Like if management thinks up a few more things that they want to, put somewhere in Hollywood Studios, it could be game over. I could see it just sort of becoming a building with multiple mini attractions, like a movie promo theater, a meet and greet, etc. Sort of things that they don't really know where to put. Let me know what you guys think about the future of one man's dream. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Disney, sacrifice some merchandising space in the Main Street USA, or maybe make some new space. Push out the back of one of those buildings and make a mini tribute to Walt that is safe from the threat of replacement in an area themed after Marceline, Missouri. Walt's hometown, so that'd just be amazing. It makes sense theming wise, and it would also make even more sense for those who want to see Walt the Man. It's still some sort of attraction in the parks, because one man's dream is an endangered attraction if I've ever seen one. And all that being said, just beyond the location of this new meet and greet, it just looks amazing. It looks like a really fun time. I can't wait to check it out for myself, hopefully this summer. Let me know what you guys think. Awesome. Also, last up in Hollywood Studios this week, or technically the last few weeks, dining packages are now available for the Music of Pixar Live. the new summer show taking place at the Theater of the Stars starting on May 26th, and it'll actually showcase a selection of soundtrack favorites from Cars, Toy Story, Up, Monsters, Inc., and Finding Nemo. Pricing varies based on the restaurant you choose. Let me know what you guys think about this new show and dining package. It's really hard to predict right now if you really need this dining package for the show, if it's really going to be that crowded and you need that reserved seat, or if this is more just an attempt by Disney to increase some guest revenues. Maybe a mixture of the two there. Let me know what you guys think. Wow. Moving over to the Animal Kingdom, we're going to do one of our final Avatar Land sneak peek roundups as pass holder previews have begun and soft openings themselves are coming soon. It's crazy to see this land actually open. If you don't want any Avatar Land spoilers, skip to the timestamp on screen now. We'll take a look at an animatronic, specialty drinks, and some awesome merch. All right, 3, 2, 1, okay. So first off this week, we got a new episode of Creating Pandora, the World of Avatar with Joe Rohde, where the big thing we learned is that Imagineering traveled to Bali and Jakarta for artistic inspiration, which is just crazy. These Imagineering research trips just sound so cool. I loved this episode because there were some shots where you can see them actually putting together the original Pandora model that we saw at the 2015 D23 Expo. You can also tell this research trip was a while back because everyone's hair is so much darker. This new land has been so stressful, their hair is turning gray. It was a really awesome episode. Not many new views of the land itself, but nevertheless, not one to miss. Link in the description below. The other big news we got this week were some first looks at the incredible Nav'i River Journey Shaman. The way she can like move around, the fluidity of her movements, some incredible stuff. Disney also released some official pics of the shaman after she sort of got some videos on YouTube there. Very cool. We also have some first official nighttime pics from Disney of the inside of Pandora, the World of Avatar. Finally inside of it, those bioluminescent plants look amazing. Let me know what you guys think. Before we move on to the restaurants and the gift shops, one quick aside, I've been noticing the Nav'i River Journey is getting a lot of negative feedback because people are saying it doesn't have a story. It's more of a river journey through the world of Pandora. People are basically saying, how can a park about life make me want to sleep so bad? And stuff like that. There are some full ride-throughs of the river journey up right now on YouTube if you want to check them out for yourself and judge for yourself. But I just say, if your takeaway from the river journey is that it's boring, you probably didn't get the theming of Avatar Land, or for that matter, the Animal Kingdom to begin with. If you want thrill, first of all, the Flight of Passage is right next door, and if you want to be immersed in nature and the scenery of an alien planet taken from a computer-generated film and then created in real life by some amazing technological innovations from inside Imagineering, that's what the river journey is about. So personally, I think this is like this whole it's a snooze sentiment has a lot less to do with the attraction itself and more to do with some people that just need to be bombarded with noises and light and movement to feel or appreciate anything. Like, look at what Imagineers have done here. You couldn't get the same feeling if you ran a roller coaster through the boat track. Well, look at that plant. It's already past us. You know, stuff like that wouldn't work. So those would be my thoughts on that. There's a difference between criticizing Disney for theming decisions and wavering from the principles that Walt had and just calling rides boring because they aren't launch coasters and you actually have to take a moment to take it all in. And boat rides are a foundational part of the Disney parks. It's a small world. Pirates, anyone? So those would be my thoughts there. Let's face it, if you're watching this show, you're going to appreciate the theming and what Imagineering has done with the river journey and just how magical it is. And if not, the Flight of Passage is right next door. It sounds incredible. Ever since Butterbeer came to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, you'd be amiss to actually open a new land and not have a specialty drink to offer. Safe to say, Pandora, the World of Avatar, is definitely trying to live up to that and trying to get in on the action. At the fast casual Satuli Canteen, you can choose from the non-alcoholic Pandoran Sunrise, which features a combination of tropical fruit juices and Powerade melon. The Disney food blog hasn't been too kind to this new drink, but I would say anything that sounds interesting to you, just give it a shot, but it hasn't gotten the greatest reviews so far. Disney also found a wine called Banshee from Napa Valley that you'll actually be able to get in the canteen. You can get as both a Banshee Chardonnay or a Banshee Pinot Noir by the glass. And then over at Pongu Pongu Refreshments, the non-alcoholic beverage offering is called Night Blossom, a frozen drink featuring limeade with apple and dessert pear flavors topped with passion fruit boba balls, which also comes in a souvenir mug with a glow cube. And then contrasting that with the Pandoran Sunrise, this one's been getting very good reviews. So if you only had one to choose, this might be the one to go with between those two, just based off the reviews we've been hearing so far. And then Pongu Pongu Refreshments will also offer a Moara Frozen Margarita, which is a tequila with strawberry and blood orange flavor topped with strawberry boba balls. You can also get the margarita in a souvenir Pongu Pongu mug as well. I'm not sure if that'll be a different mug or the same mug. We'll see. Let me know what you guys think of these offerings. Will they live up to the hype? Sweet. While we are on the topic of the Wizarding World Pandora comparisons, with the butterbeer and the drinks at Pandora the World of Avatar. This week on the Disney Parks blog, we got our first look inside Windtraders, the main shop in Pandora the World of Avatar, which has a dedicated space for banshees. How this will work is a naturalist from Alpha Centauri Expeditions will be ready to assist you in choosing a banshee from 10 different styles. The banshee can move its mouth, head, and wings, all controlled by hand, and they also make authentic banshee sounds. It should be also noted that you can get a custom perch to go along for putting it on display. I don't know about you guys, but this seems suspiciously similar to getting your own custom wand in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. That being said, I don't know about you guys, but I'd much rather have a colorful banshee that looks really cool on display in comparison to a wooden stick that most guests forget about after they get home. Who knows? Maybe we'll even get a banshee here on the set one day. That'd be amazing. Let me know what you guys think of these. I think they look amazing. I think they'd just be really cool to put on display compared to something like a wand. Also, the Disney Parks blog dropped some other pics of some of the other merch that we can expect to see in Pandora the World of Avatar, including this merch inspired by the Avatar Land concept art. Very cool stuff there. Let me know what you guys think about these. We've also got some Na'vi folk art inspired pieces as well. Very cool. Here we've got a bit more of that. And then wrapping up the merchandise sneak peeks, here we've got some more general Pandora named merch. I don't know about you guys, but I really like this stuff a lot. By the way, I couldn't confirm if those cool logos at the end come in the form of pins or patches or stickers. I'm guessing pins. Let me know what you guys think about all of that. Awesome. Now it's time to move over to the Magic Kingdom, where Wishes had its final show on Thursday night. So sad to see the show go, but hey, this could be one last chance for Disney to cash in on some Wishes-specific merch. No, I love when Disney does stuff like this, saying to the fans, hey, we know a lot of you love this show, so here's something to remember it by. In the Magic Kingdom, there's a glow-in-the-dark Wishes Farewell shirt, a Wishes Farewell cup, as well as a Wishes Farewell baseball hat. Let me know what you guys think of this merch. It should also be noted over in the Disney Store Parks limited release section on the DisneyStore.com website. Disney had also had some shirts up for sale. They also had the one in the store, as well as the annual pass holder design, as well as the kids version as well. They say sales end Sunday on those, but just in case they're still up or if there's something new up, like in the description below, be sure to bookmark that because there's always cool limited shirts and limited edition shirts and stuff up there. All sorts of park stuff that's really awesome. They're also selling the first Happily Ever After merch up on that same page, so be sure to check that out. Mickey View's photo correspondent Eric was there and got us some pics of the final show. Let me know what you guys think. The last magical gathering of Disney Dreams is absolutely crazy. He also got us a pic as work continues on the exterior of the Emporium. You can still see the scrim and scaffolding up there. We've also got some new sod by the Magic Kingdom monorail station, which is very interesting. And lastly, here's a pic of construction going on after the parking toll center en route to the parking lot at the Magic Kingdom. Wishes, you were truly magical. It's basically the show I grew up with, almost 15 years strong. You will definitely be missed. And with that said, let's talk about what's replacing Wishes, the Happily Ever Nighttime Spectacular. Now, the longtime guest favorite Wishes is being replaced, but safe to say, Disney isn't taking the change lightly, as was quite evident when the show premiered Friday night. Now, keep in mind, when we're recording this, the show premiered less than an hour ago. Like, we just watched it live, so these are my initial reactions. If you don't want to see any spoilers, skip to the timestamp on screen now. All right, 3, 2, 1. Some of the things I noticed right off the bat, I didn't think the lights would work as well in the Magic Kingdom as they do somewhere like Hollywood Studios. Safe to say, I was definitely wrong there. We saw like some pics of testing a few nights before, and I was like, I don't know if those really look good in the Magic Kingdom. It's almost like they took a symptom of every fireworks show, the smoke cloud created by the fireworks, and actually gave it character with the lights, like actually using a side effect of the fireworks as actually like a new show element, which is just amazing. Like the light definitely works better with all the smoke and stuff, which is really cool. Coming into this new show, one of the big concerns was about the utilization of the castle projection tech. Will the spectacular have too much of an emphasis on the projection and too little of an emphasis on the fireworks? I'm a little up in the air on this one. Personally, my main concern was having long, drawn-out periods throughout the show with no fireworks, with the projection sequence taking center stage, taking the helm of the show, where guests watching from around the Seven Seas Lagoon see nothing. People watching from the California Grill, watching on the Polynesian beach. That didn't happen, which is definitely good to see, except there was at the beginning like a bit of that. There was a little point where that was the case. That being said, there were sound effects in the soundtrack that were specifically put there for castle viewing audiences. A good example of this is when Lightning McQueen comes onto the castle and revs his engine. If you're sitting on the beach at the Polynesian, there's nothing about the fireworks themselves that reinforces the inclusion of that sound in the soundtrack for you. But a lot of the projection sequences had sounds with like quotes and music and different elements from Disney movies, stuff that you really don't need a visual aid to recognize and know what's going on. So let me know what you guys think about that. What I think would be really cool is if Disney really wanted to, they could actually take the soundtrack that's pumped in around the lagoon, make it actually absent of those sound effects that mean nothing to you because you can't see the castle, like Lightning McQueen making engine noises and stuff. Would that be cool? Do you think that'd be a cool idea? Or does the absence of visual aid actually give the show more room for interpretation and imagination for those who can't see the castle? Let me know what you guys think about that. Another thing I noticed, like in the middle of the show, something felt missing, and it all of a sudden just came to me. Where's Tink? Where's Tinkerbell? For some reason, we never really discussed it here on the show, if she was going to be in the show or not, and then boom, there she was. So I thought it was really cool to keep that. It's sort of, for Wishes fans, it's really sort of like a very nice callback that'll be in this show for years to come. Prior to the premiere, Friday morning, the Happily Ever After soundtrack actually was published on iTunes and Spotify, and I looked at it and I saw the running time, 3:58, and I got really scared for a second, but then I was like, that's so much shorter than Wishes. But then the actual soundtrack is actually much longer. The runtime of the Spectacular ended up being around like 18 minutes, which is pretty crazy. I wish they'd release like a soundtrack for the full show, not just the vocal section of it, but we'll see what happens there. Definitely a natural progression for the Magic Kingdom Nighttime Spectacular. Who knew putting in new shows and new experiences into the park draws in more guests? Who knew that was possible? Oh my goodness. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts on the new show. Very magical stuff. Over in Tomorrowland, there's a new character you can find. You might find out and about. His name is iCan the Showbot, and his main purpose seems to be finally having something to fill the shoes of Push, ever since the owner of the Push technology ended their contract with Disney. Let me know what you guys think of this new character. Since the robot is an actual person, there's a level of agility and movement you can never really have with a talking trash can. No shade at Push there, but he's quite entertaining from the videos I've seen of him. It's always good to see a new character in the parks that's out and about regularly for people to interact with, and iCan the Showbot is just that cool. Last up in the Magic Kingdom this week, we got a new dance party in Tomorrowland. The most recent theme of the party was based around The Incredibles, but the show is now being renamed from The Incredibles Super Dance Party to the Cosmic Dance Party. Mr. Incredible has meet and greets going on in Tomorrowland from now through May 18th, but it looks like going forward, the dance party is going to be taking on a more generic theme, so perhaps we can see a greater variety of characters down the road. Let me know what you guys think. Who would you like to see appear in Tomorrowland? You have to sort of be specific with the characters you want in Tomorrowland. I thought The Incredibles were really good, but we'll see what's different and why Disney decided to switch the name of the show, maybe just to freshen it up a little bit. Let me know what you guys think. Sweet. Moving over to Epcot, it's quite evident decision-making time has come when it comes to the Epcot overhaul. To the best of our knowledge, there's been a considerable team of Imagineers working on overhaul concepts since last November, or potentially even earlier than that. But now we're approaching the D23 Expo, and knowing Disney, they'll want something to announce when it comes to the overhaul. So as we inch closer to that date, to July, Disney research has been getting more and more militant with the Epcot questions they're doling out to guests. Starting with the one that's been going all over the Disney universe this week, I've been seeing this one everywhere. Disney is asking guests their thoughts on Figment. There are a few ways you can read this one. Maybe someone in-house wants to do something drastic to the Imagination Pavilion that's like potentially marking the end of Figment, and someone else maybe wants to, like reincorporate the Dream Finder and make the duo a bigger deal in the park, and this survey is sort of a way for park guests to weigh in on the in-house debate. Another possibility is that this survey question is there to lend more assurance to the board. I feel like that could be the case, because I feel like the biggest roadblock in getting Disney to reimagine the journey in imagination and restore it to its original glory while bringing it into the 21st century would be getting the board to approve the project. They've been getting behind something that doesn't have box office metrics to base their decision off of. It doesn't have a lot of data to go behind it, so there's a chance there won't be a sponsor to fill that void of doubt for Disney, investing in the ride. So they'll actually have to, fork up their own money. In that case, the board needs to feel confident in it, and I feel like that's where the problem is. There's also a bigger issue there where I feel like, they don't want to take risks. They're very risk averse, and that definitely has an impact on new things coming to the park, new rides. Everything has to be based on a property, and that's why we see that these days, because that's just how these things are approved. So let me know what you guys think, what exactly is going on here. We also have another survey this week, a Mickey Views exclusive sent in from Paul, who was asked why he didn't visit the seas during his trip or on a specific day he was in the park, where the options include: there's not enough to do at the seas, I don't like aquariums, the offerings at the seas aren't interesting enough for me, and my personal favorite, the offerings at the seas are mainly for children. Just a few episodes back, we discussed this in the questions. The seas is mainly for children. That's just what it is. That doesn't mean a kid at heart can't enjoy it too, but to me, it doesn't live up to Walt's principle of the whole family being able to enjoy something together. So just having that option in there gives me the impression that Disney knows this is the opinion of many of the guests, as well as some of those other options. So the survey definitely gives me hope for the future of the pavilion, as well as this whole Epcot overhaul. The fact that Disney has gone from caring about what you're visiting in the parks to what you aren't visiting, and now to why you aren't visiting certain things. And that's where I think Disney can gain a lot of insight as to what the problem is and how to fix it. Awesome. Also in Epcot this week, in festival news, the 2017 Epcot International Food and Wine Festival will be running a record 75 days, going from August 31st and running through November 13th, 2017. Oh my goodness, that's 13 days longer than last year. It's just crazy. What is even more interesting is that there will be 5 new kiosks, and while plans are still being finalized, we do know that there will be an Indian marketplace, which will make its debut. That sounds like it's going to be really good. And there also, even more interesting than that, there's going to be a Spain marketplace coming to the festival. That's a bit coincidental, wouldn't you say? Could the Spain marketplace be a test as to guest interest in tapas and some of the food offerings that could be coming to the rumored Spain pavilion as part of this Epcot overhaul? We'll see. Be sure to check out our Epcot overhaul update video where we take a look at all of that. Let me know what you guys think. Record long food and wine festivals. It's crazy. These festivals are getting so long. Pretty much almost anytime you're in the parks, there's some festival going on. And Epcot is just crazy. Let me know what you guys think. Very interesting stuff. Speaking of Epcot festivals, there's still a few weeks left to check out the amazing topiaries at this year's Flower and Garden. We have some viewer photos to take a look at, starting with Michael, who sent in an incredible collection of pics. Thank you so much, Michael. Here we've got a Figment topiary. Here we have Lightning McQueen. Oh my goodness. Mickey and Minnie in front of the festival center. Pluto and Donald as well. And then going inside the Wonders of Life for a moment, the mobile on the ceiling is still standing strong. One of the last original untouched remnants of the inside of that pavilion. And then back outside, we've got Buzz, another Donald topiary, except a farmer edition this time. Winnie the Pooh, Tinkerbell, oh my goodness. And of course, the amazing Beauty and the Beast topiaries Disney did to coincide with Beauty and the Beast. Amazing film. We've also got the 3 Caballeros. They look incredible. Stitch is in attendance as well. Oh my goodness. Michael also snapped this amazing view of the flowers around the Imagination Pavilion and the ones floating out there in the water. Simply beautiful stuff. Michael also got some amazing food pics as well. I'm not sure. I'm not really much of a food connoisseur, so I can't really tell you which dishes are which here. But we'll take a second here to look through some of these highlights, to some of the highlights of these offerings that are available at this year's Flower and Garden. So thanks so much for all those amazing photos, Michael. Tucker sent in this time lapse of the reflecting pool next to the Imagination Pavilion. Thank you so much for that, Tucker. Donald also got some amazing pics from the festival, just some absolutely stunning views. The Festival of the Arts may be over for this year, but that doesn't mean that there isn't some amazing art at Flower and Garden. This is a crazy illusion. This is an incredible work of art. Those are actual butterflies painted on the sidewalk south of Inventions West, which is crazy. Oh my goodness. So safe to say, this Flower and Garden is a huge success. Just all those photos. Thank you guys so much. Let me know what you guys think about all of that. Awesome. Moving over to Disney Springs, Portobello went from going down for a little menu change to now, by the looks of it, being transformed into a totally new Italian restaurant. Disney dropped some new concept art of the outdoor bar and there's like an extensively remodeled patio area there. The owner of Portobello, Levy Restaurants, has stated they're super excited to bring Disney guests some new reimagined Italian offerings in a newly remodeled venue. So that'll be very, very cool to see. I'll keep you updated on the progress of that project as it gets underway here and continues throughout the summer. Let me know what you guys think of this new concept art suite. Last up this week in Walt Disney World, there's been a lot of buzz around this story. Since last year, we've been covering progress on Disney's self-described Uber-like service they want to bring to the resort to get guests around the resort a little faster for a price. Now, at the time, it seemed like just the next in a line of increased guest revenue attempts, sort of trying to make numbers look better for the shareholders there. And, you know, why can't you just take the bus or the monorail or a boat or a rental car or a taxi or a shuttle or a gondola in the near future? There's so many transportation options in Walt Disney World. Why would you need to pay to get around? There's so many ways to get around, but it turns out this service Disney's been working on since last year may turn out to be a little more special than grabbing an Uber, because according to the LA Times, who broke the story, we may be on the cusp of the highest profile commercial deployment of driverless passenger vehicles to date. That's actually the title that Walt Disney World may get very, very soon. The gondolas are starting to sound a little less ambitious. Oh my goodness. The LA Times is reporting that Disney is testing a fleet of driverless shuttles that could cart passengers through parking lots and around its theme parks. They also say Disney is in the late stages of negotiations with at least 2 manufacturers of autonomous shuttles, Local Motors, which is based in Phoenix, and Navia, which is based in Paris. It's unclear whether both of those contracts will actually go through. They're actually doing those with both of those companies separately, or they'll just go with one of those companies in the end. My guess would be it's either going to be one or the other. We know Disney and the consistency of theming, having 2 different fleets of driverless shuttles that don't look the same from 2 different manufacturers. That won't really make a lot of sense. Let me know what you guys think about that. Thank taking a look at some of the driverless shuttles Nav'i has built in the past and is currently conceptualizing the idea that we could soon see these in Walt Disney World. Wow, that'd just be amazing. But as a new mode of transportation to get around the resort faster than ever before, that'd be an amazing investment for Disney to make. And it has a bit of an Epcot feel to it, to me at least. This is one of those sort of innovations I think Walt would be really proud of to see implemented in the resorts. And this isn't just, oh, like a cool new tech, driverless, cars and stuff. This is like, they'd be like, this is a huge, like, as the LA Times said, this would be like a huge commercial deployment, like the largest scale that we've seen to date. So this sort of be like Disney is at the cutting edge of technology in the resort itself, which is really what Walt wanted to see happen with Epcot. So I feel like in a way, this would definitely be a step in that direction. I think Walt will definitely be very proud of it. Let me know what you guys think. Wow. Moving over to Disneyland to finish off this crazy episode of news. To celebrate the opening of Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, there'll be a special hard ticket event one day before its official debut to the general public. The event will be held on May 26th from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. And you can actually enter the party 1 hour early, with tickets being $150 per person. Once the party kicks into gear, you can ride the new attraction as many times as you please throughout the duration of the party, which sounds amazing. There'll also be a DJ. You can actually do meet and greets with Black Widow, Hawkeye, Spider-Man, and Captain America. And there'll be food and beverage that you can redeem via your $15 voucher you will get with your ticket. It should be noted, along with the food voucher, you also get a special pin, a hat, a tote bag, a decoder card, and a comic book for attending the event. Additionally, there'll be a panel discussion with some of the Imagineers that brought Mission Breakout to life. Joe Rohde, maybe, we'll see. Either way, that panel is going to be absolutely incredible. And then lastly, in the animation building, you can actually take part in drawing your favorite superhero. This is what special hard ticket events should look like. This is just amazing. This is what a $150 hard ticket event should buy you in a Disney park. Free merch, free food, unlimited rides on a brand new yet to open attraction, getting to see a panel discussion with Imagineers, meet Marvel characters. This is the sort of stuff that a hard ticket event should get you, and I'd really like to see Disney do something like this in Walt Disney World. Next time you get a big attraction in Walt Disney World, I'm not sure about Avatar Land, more of like a standalone ride. I'd love to see Disney do something like this in the world. Disneyland has a larger local audience to be interested in something like this, but there's a lot of Orlando locals that would love something like this too. I feel like someday that'd just be amazing. Looks like it's going to be one amazing party. Disneyland fans out there watching right now, if you were going, get some pics and email them my way. I'd love to have a viewer photo segment of this party because it sounds incredible. Awesome. So there you have it. 100 weeks of Disney news covered. Technically more if you include this triple episode. Thank you guys so much for getting us here. Without your support, wouldn't have been possible. So viewers who purchased the episode 100 shirt, they've been giving us a lot of great feedback. And Stacy actually sent in this pic this week wearing the shirt in the Magic Kingdom. Thank you so much for the pic and getting the shirt, Stacy. So there you guys have it. I thought that'd be a really cool way to end the news with the episode 100 shirt actually in Walt Disney World. Thanks to all of you for all the support. And with that, let's go answer some questions. Thanks to all of your questions every week. In the spirit of keeping the show under 50 minutes, what we're going to do here is we're going to do a little bit of a retro question segment where we used to actually print out all the questions from the previous show and print them out and put them in the angry mug. And that's exactly what I've done for this one. I sort of selected, handpicked like some of the questions I liked and put them in the mug here. And we're going to try to get through all of them before we hit the 6-minute mark. We're going to do a 6-minute question segment. It's going to be crazy. So here we go. Are you ready for this? We're going to sort of mix it up with a rapid fire format, so to sort of make it a little bit more scientific this time with a 6-minute timer. All right, get the timer ready, and 3, 2, 1, start now. All right, our first question this week comes from E-Dog, who asks, with the closing of Disney Quest in Disney Springs, do you think that there will be new entertainment experiences, or will it just stay as a shopping center? E-Dog, I do think it'll stay as a shopping center. It sort of began as a shopping village, sort of like, take advantage of tourists going through a Walt Disney World. Then it's sort of like a good moneymaker for Disney to lease out the the land for different companies that wanted to have stores there, retail stores. Then you added the Pleasure Island aspect to it, which brought a whole new element with the nightlife and everything that was really unique. And then Bob Iger became CEO. That was shut down, and now definitely the whole Disney Springs idea is sort of returning it to that shopping village feel, which I do think is cool. But in terms of, I really wish it's just gonna say a shopping center. There, as far as entertainment experiences, I feel like you will see, sort of music stuff sometimes. I do think with this NBA everyday experience replacing Disney Quest. There's some sort of entertainment aspect to that. There's supposed to be like a basketball court or something, but we'll see what happens there. But that's what I would say as far as your question, E-Dog. Awesome question, E-Dog. That was an awesome question. Our second question this week comes from Cold High 1, who asks, do you think the Magic Kingdom will be getting any new rides or expansions in the near future? If so, do you think they will be announced soon or held off as other parks continue their expansions? There's one that comes to mind immediately. There's a rumor floating around right now about a volcano that could be coming to Adventureland in the Magic Kingdom. And the reason I sort of believe this rumor, the general concept, is because there is an expansion lot in the southwest corner of the Magic Kingdom. It's one of the few left in the Magic Kingdom, and the fact that that's where this ride is supposed to go, it sort of makes sense. And when I say ride, there's actually two rumors inside of this rumor with this volcano thing. One site is alleging that it's going to be a resort, like a part, like in the parks, sort of like the Walt Disney World, the Star Wars thing we talked about at the beginning of the news. And the other thing is that the other rumor is that it might be a Moana roller coaster. I do think having another mountain in the Magic Kingdom would be so cool, and I do think that a Moana roller coaster would be really awesome. Let me know your guys' thoughts on that. Awesome question, Cold High 1. Our third question this week comes from Edwin Lambert, who asks, where do you get your movie posters that are on your set? Either get them from movie theaters if they have any extras, if you know anyone at the movie theater, or you can get them on eBay. I search for 27 by 40, and I make sure those are the only ones I buy. Those specific dimensions are the ones that Disney custom prints and sends out to the movie theater. I don't get any reprints. I get the ones straight from Disney through eBay, and you can actually check in the description, make sure it says original, because sometimes people try to scam you, so make sure you get the right one. But those are really awesome. Those are amazing posters, but that's how you get the posters. Awesome question, Edwin. Our fourth question this week comes from Harambe, who asks, what 3 defunct rides would you like to return most and why? Number 1, Horizons, because it basically encompasses the whole theme of Epcot. If you bring back Horizons, I feel like the rest of Future World especially will fall back in line, which would just be awesome. And of course, it's one of the best attractions Disney's ever made. Second would have to be Cranium Command. It was so riveting. They literally made a movie out of it, an Inside Out. I'd really like to see an Inside Out version of Cranium Command, potentially in the Magic Eye Theater. And third would be the Backlot Tour, because I just want more behind the scenes Walt stuff, and it seems to be going away quite quickly here. So those might be my 3 there. Awesome question, Harambe. Our fourth question this week comes from Matt, who asks, could a Mary Poppins land come to Hollywood Studios with the Mary Poppins income helped by the land for Walt Disney World and a sequel coming out? As far as Mary Poppins ride, I think that'd be awesome, Matt. So that's all I really have to say there. I really think a Mary Poppins ride would work well, probably best in Hollywood Studios on Sunset Boulevard. Let me know what you guys think about that one. Awesome question, Matt. Oh my goodness, we're running out of time here. Our next question this week comes from Thomas, who asks, I hate this, but do you think that they could change Figment's ride to Inside Out? That's my big worry, is that with Inside Out, it seems like a really natural replacement for the Imagination Pavilion, but we already have Figment, who's so awesome, and potentially Dreamfinder in the future. So that's why I really want to see Inside Out instead come to the Magic Eye Theater specifically, and not the entire pavilion. But yes, if not Figment, I do think it will become an Inside Out pavilion. So that's what I have to say there. That's what I think what would happen there. And our second to last question comes from Connor, who asks, do you think Disney could move the Festival Center to the Inventions building and put Inventions in the Wonders of Life pavilion to expand it and add more stuff? I could see them move the Festival Center to the Inventions pavilion. I'd like that, so you could free up space in the Wonders of Life, but I'm not sure. I mean, you could put Inventions in the Wonders of Life. I guess that could work, but I would like to see it be more of a science, like sort of more specific science field that pavilion be themed around. That would be much better. Personally, for me, I do think the best scenario would just be they build the Festival Center like a custom space for it in the World Showcase where it should have been in the first place. So those would be my thoughts there. Awesome question, Connor. And our final question comes from Benjamin, who asks, do you think that they will ever decide to make more coasters like Rock and Roller Coaster, or do you think they will avoid that? I think with Rock and Roller Coaster, I'm thinking of other launch coasters. We've talked about the Tron rumor. The Tron rumor could happen. Beyond that, I do think Disney's interested in adding more thrill rides, because that definitely seems to be where the guests are most interested in right now, is those thrill rides. So I think that's what would be really awesome there, Benjamin. And I don't know. I feel like the Tron Light Cycle attraction could be really cool. I just don't know where they would put it. I would want to say Hollywood Studios, but it's just like the catch-all for everything. So that would be the thing there. And beyond that, definitely the crowd interest is moving more towards thrill rides, and Universal Studios is getting a lot more attention, obviously. So Disney's probably going to react with including some more roller coasters, so long as the roller coasters don't interfere with the general theming of the park. Like when we talked about the Moana volcano thing, I think it's fine that you can do something like that. I think Moana Volcano would be really cool. Then obviously the Tron Lightcycle Power Run attraction would also. I just don't know where it would work well thematically, but so long as Disney keeps these roller coasters and thrill rides sort of, you know, in their place, like in the right spots, in the right parks, you know, if they don't really fit with any park, make them indoors. If they do work with part of a park, then do what they might do with Moana. So those would be my thoughts there. Awesome question, Benjamin. And there we have it. There is 6 minutes, excuse me, 6 minutes. That is crazy. We got all these questions answered. Thank you guys so much for doing this, sending in all these questions. If you did not get your question answered on this week's show, you can re-enter again in the comments below to re-enter the lottery. You ask a new question, or if you don't care about your question being answered in the show, you just want to respond, you can always email me at BraydenMcGee's.com. I love answering you guys' questions. Send in those photos, send in all that stuff. If you just want your question answered, send it to me and I'll get right back to you guys. Otherwise, leave your questions in the comments below for episode 101. We'll go back to more of the long form question segments. It'd be really, really fun stuff. Thank you guys so much for all the continued support. Be sure to leave your Disney questions in the comments below and answer them right here on the show. A few weeks back, Disney announced some changes in release dates for some very big films in the works, so let's take a look. Going into this announcement, these are where the dates stood. We had Wreck-It Ralph 2, A Wrinkle in Time, Magic Camp, Gigantic, and Indy 5. Now we have the official dates for Episode 9, the live-action Lion King, and Frozen 2. But with those new dates, the other films got date changes as well. Indy is being pushed back a full year from July 2019 to July 2020. Wreck-It Ralph 2 has been pushed back 8 months from March 2018 to November 2018. A Wrinkle in Time was pushed up a month now that Wreck-It Ralph 2 is later in the year, and then Magic Camp also got pushed up as well. And the most shocking one to me was Gigantic. The basis for the Spain Pavilion Epcot overhaul rumor, it got pushed back a full 2 years from November 2018 to November 2020. From what I understand, there are some major plot issues they're working through right now with Gigantic, but remember, Frozen was originally supposed to be essentially the Snow Queen by Hans Christian Andersen, but then they added that sisters element that made the film what it is. And as you can tell by the late November release of Frozen and Frozen 2, no matter what the year, Disney seems to be wanting to tap into that same market with Gigantic. Let me know what you guys think about these movie changes. Keep in mind, we are only showing the movies with changes here. So, all right, it's poll time. Last week, we asked which property would you like to see in Walt Disney World most. So it looks like the majority of you say Zootopia, followed by Inside Out, followed by Big Hero 6. Any of those, all 3 of those, 2 of those, I love them all so much. Disney can get these properties in the parks, but something Zootopia, maybe even a Zootopia land in the Animal Kingdom, that would be pretty incredible. Thanks so much to everyone who voted this week. Based off of the news we covered, would you consider buying a personal Banshee? A, yes, or B, no. The other difference between the personal Banshee and the wand is much easier to fit into your luggage at the end of your vacation. So I'm sort of wondering if anyone's like actually going to put it in their luggage to actually be able to bring it with them. But at the same time, the Banshee seems to have a much higher display value than the wand once you actually get home. So let me know what you guys think. To vote, be sure you're watching from the YouTube mobile app on YouTube.com on your computer. You should see a little info symbol right here. Just click there, make your vote. Your voice has been heard, and I'll read the results next week. That's all the latest news in the world of Disney this week. Be sure to subscribe and check back here next Friday, May 19th, for episode 101 of the Magic Weekly. Let us know your thoughts this week's show and all the news you covered in the comments below for a shout out on next week's episode. Thanks so much for all the support every week, you guys. We recently got a voicemail sent in from viewer of the show, Alex, and with that, let's listen to it.
Hi there, Brayden. My name is Alex Haffenden. I've just recently, within the last couple of days, come across Mickey Views and obviously the Magic Weekly. I just wanted to say that thank you very much for the great content that you put out, mate. So I've only just recently come across everything, and you're already kind of becoming my sort of one-stop shop for Disney news and reviews and things. I can see the Magic Weekly becoming kind of a bit of a staple every week for me in terms of watching that and getting a top-up of news. Obviously, as you can tell from my accent, I'm from England, so it's obviously not too easy for me to get over to Walt Disney World all of the time. The price of a flight from Orlando, from London to Orlando, can be a bit expensive at times. So that's what kind of limits me going all the time. But obviously, videos such as yours are just kind of that extra little bit of Disney magic. It's fair to say.
Thank you.
I'm just wanted to say, buddy, thank you very much for the great content you put out. Your level of sort of production values and professionalism in your videos is absolutely fantastic. And yeah, it's fair to say I'm going to be an avid watcher in the future, Brayden. But anyway, I just wanted to say, buddy, thank you very much for the great content you put out, and keep up the good work, and have a magical week.
Thanks so much for setting that in, Alex. Glad to hear you enjoy the show. And seriously, sincerely, thank you, the viewers of the show, all of you, for getting us to 100 episodes. It's been quite a journey, a bit of a bumpy one as of late. About time we get back to on-time episodes, what you say. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. And if you thought these 100 episodes were good, buckle up because the next 100, they're going to be awesome. Thanks so much for all the comments and all the likes and just all the support every week. You guys are absolutely amazing. We're building a pop vinyl collection on the shelf, episode by episode. This week we have, oh my goodness, Baymax from Big Hero 6. Wow. Oh my goodness. Baymax is huge. Awesome. That's all for this episode of the Magic Weekly. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. This is Brayden. Have a magical day. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Magic Weekly. I really hope you enjoyed it. Not any episode of Magic Weekly, not this week's, episode 100. It's a pretty important one there. Oh my goodness, thank you guys so much for all the continued support. Someone asked last week, I think it was Brandon, about, you know, did I think that I'd ever get to episode 100? I think a part of me did, and part of me didn't. And the part of me that didn't didn't really expect so many people to find the show or want to watch the show. I didn't really think that many people wanted to watch it. And just the fact that you guys found the show, the fact that you guys wanted to listen to me talk about everything going on at Disney Universe is absolutely incredible. So thank you guys so much to every single one of you for watching the show. You know, comments and likes and all that stuff, they're cool. But most of all, just the fact that you guys watch the show just amazes me. So thank you guys so much for all of that. Let me know what you guys think of the new audio setup. Is it better? Is it worse? They're both omnidirectional, meaning they pick up everything around them. That's what these mics both are. The difference now is instead of using the mic that's like, you know, like 2 feet away from my face, you're hearing from my chest. So that's the main difference between the lapel and this mic. So you might notice on this show with the new mic. So let me know what you guys think about that. Would you like me to switch back to the old one? Is the new one good? I feel like this one has a more full sound, but this one has like a more natural sound maybe. I don't know. That's just sort of my thoughts on it. But to each their own. So let me know what you guys think. If you guys think it's good or bad. I don't know. I was just sort of pretty critical of myself when it comes to stuff like the audio. So let me know what you guys think. The main purpose of this is to do like those standing shots like you saw with the Epcot overhaul video. I want to do more stuff like that in the future and stuff like that. So that's the main reason I have this lapel for when I'm not sitting down at a desk. So I might switch back to this mic, but it all depends on your guys' feedback, what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about all of that. Episode 100 coming to a close here. So I can't wait to do it. Here's to another 100. It's going to be absolutely amazing. So thank you guys so much. I'll see you at 101. Have a great weekend. Have a great week. This is Brayden. That's a wrap. Woo!